Transient state analysis. Transient state analysis. It deals with the nature of response of a system. It deals with the nature of response of a system when subjected to an input. When subjected to an input, and depends on order of the control system. Depends on order of the control system. Now listen here. This is a generalized transfer function I am taking for a certain control system, which is V naught by an Sn, an minus 1, Sn minus 1, a1s plus a naught. Now this generalized transfer function relating this input and output is what order system? Nth order system, because this is the characteristic equation. With respect to this generalized transfer function, we define different orders of the systems, starting from zero order system. The definition of a zero order system is if all the terms except a0 and b0 are 0 in this general transfer function. All the terms except a0 and b0 means only this will remain, which means the transfer function of the zero order system is in the form of some constant only, and this constant we call it as gain. So the transfer function of a zero order system will be a constant value xi of s and x naught of s. What are examples of these zero order systems? If you observe, we have written transfer functions of potentiometers and tachometers. Transfer function क्या था? सिर्फ एक constant term in the form of some gain. So examples of zero order systems are sensors or transducers. Sensors or transducers come under the category of zero order system. Transfer function is equal to some constant means the characteristics with respect to time for input we are taking as xi, output we are taking as x naught, are linear. Linear characteristics means output is directly proportional to input. When you are changing the input, instantly, immediately output also will be changed. इसका मतलब response is not taking any time to track the input, so there is no transient analysis. It is following the input means there is no error between input and so zero order systems. They do not have time response analysis. They do not have time response analysis because the input and output characteristics are linear. Second type of systems are called as first order systems. Now the definition of a first order system is in this generalized transfer function when all the terms except b0, a1 and a0 are 0. We take out this a0 common to convert this in time constant form. This is a1 by a0 into s plus 1. Let k equal to gain of the system equal to b0 by a0 and t we are calling it as time constant element. this is defined as A1 by A0. The generalized transfer function of a first order system is written as K by 1 plus Ts. This is the generalized transfer function of a first order system. So you see the transfer function is now having a constant term as well as a pole. Example of a first order system is the RC network transfer function. If you observe, we have obtained the RC network transfer function as V0 by Vi is equal to 1 by RCS plus 1. The time constant element, which was defined as A1 by A0 arbitrarily in the general form, is actually the product of resistance and capacitance. Which means if you have any system that has a combined effect of resistance and capacitance, you can classify it as first order systems. So the tank example we have taken, R by RCS plus 1 we got. Capacity of the tank is capacitance and the tap is resistance. It is an example of first order system. So our overhead tanks having inlet and outlet, and if you put a valve at the outlet, it is an example of first order system. Pressure vessels having inlet and outlet with a control valve placed at the outlet is an example of first order system. Now, apart from them, what other general physical systems come under the category of first order systems? If you want to analyze, you must evaluate the response of this first order system. So let us see what is the transient analysis. Transient analysis of the first order system. To evaluate the transient state analysis, the input should be taken as step input. So suppose if I take unit step input, response of a system will become K by S into 1 plus Ts. If you take partial fractions, the partial fractions are 1 by S minus T by 1 plus Ts. So x naught of S will become K into 1 by S minus 1 by S plus 1 by T. So response of a first order system is K into 1 minus e power minus T by T. This is the response of a first order system subjected to unit step input. When we have subjected this first order system to unit step input, the response is reaching a steady state value of K. Because as you observe, limit t tends to infinity, x naught of t value is K. It is reaching a steady state value of K. How is the response reaching a steady state value of K? Exponentially it is reaching. And if you observe, this transient is depending on time constant. What is time constant? It is the product of RC. So when you have subjected this first order system to unit step input, the response is reaching a steady state value of K. It is K into 1. How is this response reaching? This response is reaching exponentially. How do we know that it is reaching exponentially? If you observe, at t equal to 0, x naught of t will become K into 1 minus 1, 0. So when t is 0, the response is at 0. At t equal to t, because the response is depending on time constant, x naught of t will become K into 1 minus e power minus 1 is K into 1 minus 0.37 is K into 0.63. You see, ideally speaking, when t is equal to t, this is the ideal response of a first order system. जब T is equal to T hai, the response should reach 100% of the final value. When T is equal to T, ideally speaking, a response should reach 100% of the final value. But is it reaching 100% of the final value? Where is it reaching? Only 63% of the final value only it is reaching. So when T is T, practically the response will reach K into 0.63 only. It means the response is slow. The response is slow. So when is it reaching almost 100% of the final value? When T is 4T. X naught of T is equal to K into e power minus 4. E power minus 4 value is 0.02. This will become K into 0.98. So this response will reach almost 98% of the final value, 4 times of time constant. When T is equal to 4T, then it will reach almost 98% of the final value. So 4 times of time constant the response takes to reach almost 98% of the final value, which is called as 2% tolerance. 2% of 1 kitna hai? 0.98. We conclude that the response of a first order system is exponential. Exponential means slow, sluggish, and it takes how much time to reach the tolerance limit of 2%? 4 times of time constant. The most common example that we see in our day-to-day lives of this first order system is heating water in a container. You take water in a container, put it on a gas stove. How much time you take to light a gas stove? Gas stove सुलगाने के लिए कितना time लगेगा? 0 time. At time t equal to 0, you are changing the condition of that stove from 0 flame state to some flame. It's a steady state, and this flame remains for t greater than 0. What happens the moment you switch on the gas stove? Instantly the water reaches boiling point, or water will take some time? How much time it takes? 4 times of time constant it will take. What is time constant of that system? Resistance into capacitance. Resistance means physical terms में obstruction. Base of the container offers resistance. अगर सपोज कंटेनर का बेस इतना थिक है, दिस थिक, क्या होगा? 4 times capacity of the vessel. If you take a large vessel, 4 times. Small vessel, less time. So ये जो कंटेनर का कैपेसिटी है, कैपेसिटी means you have to find its area or volume, its shape depending on the shape. Resistance means thickness of the base. Multiply the thickness with the area or volume, that gives you time constant of that vessel. Multiplying to 4, that gives you the time for the water to reach boiling point. You understand? Another example that we see in our day-to-day lives is thermometers. To check body temperature, we use thermometers. I am talking of liquid-filled thermometers, digital wala nahi. So the moment you put thermometer in your mouth, does it indicate steady state body temperature, or it will take some time? It takes some time. 4 times of time constant it will take. What is time constant of a thermometer? Thickness of the glass wall where the mercury is rising, and the tubular area. You will never find thermometers of this pen size. A very sleek models. For the mercury to rise, it will take long time. So wherever you must have observed, wherever the mercury rises, that's a very, very thin. So the tubular area where the mercury is rising and thickness of it, the entire glass wall covering, constitutes your time constant effect there. Because of which the thermometer takes 4 times of time constant to indicate the steady state body temperature. So examples of first order systems are thermal systems. Pneumatic is, as I said, pressure vessel with inlet and outlet with outlet valve. Liquid level systems, the tank having inlet and outlet with an outlet valve, because you have to show resistance there. So thermal, pneumatic, hydraulic, this RCRL networks, all these things come under the category of first order systems. To reach 63% of the final value, reach 63% of the final value. Next, second point. Thermal systems, thermal, THERMAL. Thermal systems, pneumatic systems, pneumatic, PNEU, pneumatic systems, liquid level systems, liquid level systems, thermometers, and RC or RL networks, are examples of first order system. Now listen here. Suppose we have two water tubs. The water in the first tub is at 30 degrees centigrade. The water in the first tub is at 30 degrees centigrade. The water in the second tub is at 100 degrees centigrade. We are immersing the thermometer in the first tub. What temperature it will indicate? 30. I am removing this from here and I am putting it here. Will the mercury begin to change from 30 onwards or 0 onwards? If the response of the first order system is starting from 0, then this is the expression. But the response of a first order system has already gone to some value, some 30, and then it is reaching a steady state value of 100. If it is going like that, this equation is slightly modified to define the dynamics of such response. Response 0 से शुरू हो रहा है, ये expression है. अगर response कुछ arbitrary value से शुरू हो रहा है, 30 degrees या 20 degrees से शुरू हो रहा है, then this expression is slightly changed. So we show this is the steady state value K0, and this is some already reached steady state value which is Ki. So the response is not beginning to change from 0 onwards. It is changing from Ki onwards. So it is first order sigmoidal characteristics only you get. If this is the case, this equation is slightly modified as x naught of t is equal to K naught plus Ki minus K naught into e power minus t by t. This expression defines the dynamics of a first order system. If the response of that first order system has already reached some steady state value, and from there if it is again going to some new value, which we are defining it as Ki and K naught. Now in this expression, अगर Ki 0 है, इसका मतलब रेस्पॉन्स कहाँ से शुरू हो रहा है? 0 से शुरू हो रहा है. अगर ये 0 से शुरू हो रहा है, then this expression should become this expression. So when you put Ki 0, that expression will change as what? K naught into 1 minus e power minus t. So it will change to this expression. Next, second order systems. Next one is second order systems. So you see, like how time constant element is an important characteristic of a first order system. Response of a first order system was depending on time constant. Transfer function of a first order system was also depending on time constant. So like how time constant is an important characteristic of a first order system, like how we have expressed the transfer function of a first order system in terms of time constant element. In the same way, any second order or higher order system also will have certain characteristics. Second order and higher order, the characteristics will remain same from second order onwards. So we show a generalized transfer function, a standard transfer function, a standard prototype of a second order system in terms of those characteristics. To understand the generalized transfer function of a second order system, the generalized transfer function characteristics of a second order system, we have to understand what are the characteristics and features that any second order or higher order system will have. Once you know what are these characteristics, then we can define in terms of those characteristics the standard form of second order transfer function. So we take an example to understand these characteristics, these features of second order or higher order system. Now the example that we are considering to understand that characteristics or features of a second order system are, the example that we are taking is PMMC. What is this PMMC? It's a permanent magnet moving coil mechanism. The basic principle of a PMMC instrument says that you take a coil of fine wire. This is the coil we are taking, and suspend that coil between the poles of a permanent magnet. This is the permanent magnet. And between the poles of this permanent magnet, we are suspending this coil. And to this coil, we are attaching a pointer which is moving over a calibrated scale. It is moving over a calibrated scale. Now, when you pass current through this coil, due to the fundamental property of electromagnetic force, the coil starts deflecting in the magnetic field. The pointer also starts deflecting. This will continue to deflect until this electromagnetic torque, also called as deflecting torque, is counteracted or balanced by a mechanical torque or a controlling torque, which is produced by attaching springs on the top and bottom side of the coil. These are called as control springs. So at the final equilibrium point, when the deflecting torque and the controlling torque of the springs are equal and opposite, even though current is passing, there would be no deflection. Wherever the pointer stops, that is taken as the measure of unknown current passing through the coil. This is called as the principle of suspension galvanometer, whose more modern version we call it as PMMC. Suppose I want to write the transfer function of this PMMC moving system. To write transfer function of any system, you have to first of all identify what is the input and what is the output. What is input? Current. Current is resulting in deflecting torque. So we are taking the input of this moving system as deflecting torque. What is the output? Wherever the pointer stops, that is taken as the measure of unknown current. So output is angular displacement of pointer. Theta is the output. Every moving system will have some mass. So we are defining J, which is the inertia of moving system or moving coil. Moving system, when parts are moving with respect to each other, definitely some amount of friction will be present. So we are defining the inherently present friction, as B. Actual springs you are putting on the top and bottom side of the coil, you are putting actual springs. So we also have K, which denotes the spring constant values of the springs that you are using here. So when you write defining the equation of this PMMC instrument, the equation will become J into T square theta B into T theta plus K theta. So TD of S is equal to J square plus PS plus K into theta of S. Theta of S by TD of S is 1 by J square plus BS plus K. It is 1 by J by S square plus B by J into S plus K by J. What order? So therefore, all these indicating instruments, we say they come under the category of second order systems. TD is equal to TC, deflecting torque. If it is equal to controlling torque, what should happen to the pointer? It should come and stop. You see, this is the equilibrium equation. TD is equal to TC. But we have learned that for a spring controlled instrument, TD is equal to TC and TC is equal to K theta only. Why is it so? I will tell you later. But as of now, TD is equal to TC. This is the equilibrium equation. When TD is equal to TC, what should happen to the pointer? It should stop, but practically it will not stop. It will come to the steady state value and it will continuously oscillate. It exhibits continuous oscillations. The frequency with which the pointer oscillates is called as, this frequency is called as undamped natural frequency. It is represented as omega n radians per second. The reason why when this TD is equal to this TC, the pointer instead of stopping is exhibiting continuous oscillations is because this inherently present friction between the moving parts is not sufficient enough to damp the oscillations. This is not sufficient. ये ट्रांसफर फंक्शन में ये सफिशिएंट नहीं है, इसका मतलब ये नेग्लिजिबल है। ये नेग्लिजिबल का मतलब ये टर्म नहीं है यहाँ पे। अब ये क्या है? ये ट्रांसफर फंक्शन 1 by j by स्क्वायर प्लस k by j है। ओमेगा बाई स्क्वायर प्लस ओमेगा स्क्वायर, इनवर्स लैप्लेस क्या है? साइन ओमेगा टी। साइन ओमेगा टी का मतलब क्या? कंटिन्यूअस ऑसिलेशंस। अंडरस्टैंड? क्योंकि ये फ्रिक्शन सफिशिएंट इनफ नहीं है, externally you have to provide some friction. Externally you have to provide some friction, and this torque which you provide externally so that the oscillations will stop is called as damping torque. It is called as damping torque. Externally you have to provide some friction. So when you provide external friction to the moving system, then what happens is slowly the oscillations will die and the pointer will stop and indicate what is the steady state current. This external friction that you provide to a PMMC moving system, we call it as mathematically, in mathematical terms, we call it as damping ratio. It is called as damping ratio. I write damping ratio as G and I call it as zeta. You write however you have learned. So the two most important characteristics of any second order or higher order system are zeta and omega. It is because of this reason the standard second order transfer function is represented in terms of this zeta and omega n, and the standard form is omega n square by 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. This is the standard transfer function representation of second order system. If you want to calculate zeta and omega n of this second order system, zeta omega n should always be calculated from the denominator. क्योंकि order, whether it depends on numerator or order depends on denominator. अगर ये omega n square, ये omega n square same नहीं है, तो you must take zeta omega n from denominator term only, because order and response depends only on denominator of the system. So you must always compare to calculate zeta and omega n for any system from the denominator term. It is s square plus b by j into s plus k by j. So if you observe, the undamped natural frequency is under root of k by j. 2 zeta omega n is equal to b by j, which implies zeta is e by 2 root of kj. If you observe, zeta is directly proportional to b. So when you say in a mathematical model, अगर हम ये कह रहे हैं कि हम zeta को बढ़ा रहे हैं या हम zeta को कम कर रहे हैं, प्रैक्टिकली सिस्टम में क्या कर रहे हैं? फ्रिक्शन को बढ़ा रहे हैं या फ्रिक्शन को कम कर रहे हैं. ये प्रैक्टिकल implication है. You understand? So if you don't provide external damping to a system, ये जो pointer है ये continuously oscillate हो रहा है. With what frequency it is oscillating? Under root of a by k. This is the frequency with which it is oscillating. You understand? So you have to, अगर सिर्फ हम controlling torque ही दिए, अगर सिर्फ हम controlling torque अगर हम दे रहे हैं, तो इससे कोई फायदा नहीं होगा. You have to also give damping. अगर सिर्फ कंट्रोलिंग टॉर्क ही हम दे रहे हैं तो पॉइंटर कंटिन्यूसली ऑसिलेट होगा. क्या फ्रीक्वेंसी से ऑसिलेट होगा? अंडर रूट के. अंडरस्टैंड? नाउ TD is equal to TC and TC equal to K theta. We write when we do problems, because अब ये एक्सप्रेशन में ये नेग्लिजिबल है, बचा क्या? J और K. इनर्शिया ऑफ द मूविंग सिस्टम क्या रहना? ज्यादा लार्ज वैल्यू रहना या स्मॉल वैल्यू रहना? अगर मूविंग सिस्टम का इनर्शिया बहुत ज्यादा है तो क्या होगा? मूव ही नहीं होगा. क्या होगा? मूव ही नहीं होगा, पॉइंटर वैसे ही रहेगा. Which means compared to k values, j values are insignificant. इसलिए you should neglect this j and p and write TD is equal to TC, TC equal to k theta only. Understood? Right. First point. The response of second order or higher order system, the response of second order or higher order system exhibits continuous and sustained oscillations, about the steady state value of input state value of input with the frequency known as undamped natural frequency. With the frequency known as undamped natural frequency. In brackets you write omega n radians per second. Next, second point. These oscillations in the response are damped, D-A-M-P-E-D. These oscillations in the response are damped to the steady state value of input. The steady state value of input using appropriate damping methods. Next, third point. The damping is represented as damping ratio in brackets we write zeta. Next, therefore the standard second order transfer function is expressed in terms of zeta and omega n. Write this transfer function in standard form. You see, this is standard second order transfer function, standard second order prototype. ऑर्डर क्या है इसका? ऑर्डर क्या है? 2. टाइप क्या है? When you say order 2 है, इसका मतलब ये कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इक्वेशन है. अगर ये कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इक्वेशन है तो ये क्लोज लूप ट्रांसफर फंक्शन है. So type of the system you have to find not from closed loop transfer function characteristics, but from open loop transfer function characteristics. So to find the type of the system, standard second order system, keep the numerator term as it is, and from the denominator term subtract the numerator term. So the open loop characteristics of a second order system is omega n square by s into s plus 2 zeta omega n. क्या टाइप है ये? So standard second order transfer function represents order 2, but the type is 1. After that, as an example, you write this. effect of damping. Effect of damping on the nature of response. Effect of damping on the nature of response. Effect of damping on the nature of response. So listen here. This is the transfer function of a standard second order system. Omega n square by 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. Response of the second order system will depend on the characteristic equation roots. Because the characteristic equation is of order 2, you will be getting 2 roots. So where is the response lying? The response is depending on the roots of the characteristic equation. It is minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a plus or minus omega n into root of zeta square minus 1. So these are the roots of the second order system. The nature of roots of a quadratic equation will depend on discriminant. What is discriminant of this quadratic equation roots? Zeta square minus 1. Suppose if this discriminant, which is zeta square minus 1, is equal to 0. These roots are real and equal, which implies zeta value is plus or minus 1. Negative values we don't take, right? I will show you as it goes. So plus or minus 1, we write only, we take only positive damping values. If this discriminant, which is zeta square minus 1, is less than 0, these roots are complex conjugates, which means zeta value is less than 1. If this discriminant, which is zeta square minus 1, is greater than 0, these roots are real and unequal, which means zeta value is greater than. So if you observe, the nature of response of a second order system will depend on nature of roots. The nature of roots of the second order expression depends on discriminant. And discriminant is a function of zeta, which means response of the second order system directly depends on the values of. And how are we going to vary zeta? We are going to vary zeta as 1, less than 1 and greater than 1. Case 1. Case 1 is called as undamped case. Undamped case means we are not providing damping to a second order system at all. So when you don't provide damping to a second order system, this is 0, this is plus or minus omega n into root minus 1. Root minus 1 value is j. So these roots are lying on imaginary axis. Where they are lying at j omega n and minus j omega n, they are lying. This is where the roots are lying at j omega n and minus j omega n. For what value of zeta? value of zeta equal to 0. Zeta equal to 0. If the roots are lying on imaginary axis, this characteristic equation will become s square plus omega n square. What is inverse Laplace of such transfer functions? Sin omega n t. Sin omega n t means continuous oscillations. So when you don't provide damping to a second order system, the response of a second order system, if I assume this to be the final value of input, the response will exhibit continuous and sustained oscillations about the final value. The frequency with which this oscillates is called as omega n, undamped natural frequency. Case 2 is called as underdamped case. In underdamped case, zeta value is greater than 0 but less than 1. You put any value of zeta less than 1, suppose 0.5 I am putting. Here 0.5 omega n plus or minus 0.5 square is less than 1. So ये हो गया real part और ये हो गया imaginary. These roots are now lying in the second quadrant and third quadrants of S-plane because they have a real part and imaginary part. So they are lying, these roots are lying in the second and third quadrants of S-plane like this. This is how they are lying. For what value of zeta less than 1? Suppose अगर ये real part minus a है, minus a, imaginary part jb और minus jb है, तो ये roots अभी कहाँ पे है? These roots are s equal to minus a plus minus of jb. So this characteristic equation we can write as s plus a whole square plus b square. The characteristic equation को हम कैसे represent कर सकते हैं? S plus a whole square plus b square, where a is the real part, b is the imaginary part. Inverse Laplace of such expressions will be e power minus at sin bt. E power minus at sin bt का मतलब, if you assume this to be the final value, then it is e power minus at sin bt with respect to this final value. This is how the response will be. You have an exponential term and sine term. That means slowly the oscillations are dying and the response is stabilizing. So what values of zeta? Less than 1. Now we have case 3, which is called as critically damped case. In a critically damped case, we put the value of zeta exactly 1. If you put zeta 1, this term will not be there. The roots are repeated. At what value the roots are repeated? Minus omega n. So you will be having two roots on minus omega n point. For what value of zeta? Zeta exactly equal to 1. If the roots are repeated on the real axis, this characteristic equation is of the form of s plus omega n whole square. S plus omega n whole square. Response of this is of the form of t e power minus at form. So in the critically damped case, there is no sine term, only exponential term. Because of the time multiplying factor, the response quickly reaches the final value, no oscillations, and it is purely exponential. Case 4 is called as overdamped case. Overdamped case means the value of zeta is greater than 1. If you put zeta value greater than 1, then the roots are real and unequal. So if the roots are real and unequal, this characteristic equation is of the form of s plus a into s plus b. It is of the form of s plus a into s plus b. इसका inverse Laplace क्या होगा? E power minus at e power minus 2 exponential terms you will be getting. So if you assume this to be the final value, then the response is only again purely exponential, but comparatively the response will be slow. दो exponential terms हैं यहाँ पे. These are the different forms of responses that you get for 4 different values of zeta. Among them, first one we don't consider at all because the response is not stabilized. In case 2, case 3, case 4, which one do you think is optimum and best response you observe? In case 2, case 3 and case 4, which one do you feel, do you think appears to be optimum and best response? Huh? Case 2 or case 3 or case 4? Huh? Case 3. 2. So 3 appears to be optimum and best response because in 3 there are no oscillations and response is quickly reaching the final value. So it appears to be optimum and best response. Yes or no? Now listen. Critically damped system. Critically damped system means the roots should be repeated on the real axis. The root should be repeated on the real axis. Example of a critically damped system is non-interacting system. Example of a critically damped system is what? Non-interacting system. What was the transfer function of a non-interacting system? K by RCS plus 1 whole square. So when you connect 2 tanks in a non-interacting mode, you have a transfer function of the form of K by RCS plus 1 whole square. Yes or no? Yes. Huh? Roots are repeated. So ये क्या है ये non-interacting system with identical time constants. R, C, 100% identical रहना. Then you will get a transfer function of the form of K by RCS plus 1 whole square, and we call this system as non-interacting system. Now, मैं तो यहाँ पे white paper के ऊपर ऐसा एक 2 टैंक मैंने उतार दिया non-interacting mode में I have shown. मैंने ये कह दिया कि R1 equal to R2 equal to R, C1 equal to C2 equal to C, and therefore we got a transfer function as RCS plus 1 whole square. ये तो मैंने यहाँ पे बोर्ड पे लिख दिया और बता दिया. अभी मुझे प्रैक्टिकली बनाना है. ये नॉन इंटरैक्टिंग सिस्टम मुझे प्रैक्टिकली बनाना है. I have to have 100% cent% identical time constants. Then only you will get RCS plus 1 whole square. अगर R में या C में even if a small difference is there, then you will never get RCS plus 1 whole square. You tell me, is it practically possible to have 100% identical time constants? Huh? Is it 100% 100% रहना? नहीं तो even small difference means roots will become real and unequal. Overturned हो जाएगा system. 100% identical है तो ही ये possible है. तो क्या ये practically possible है? है या नहीं? है? नहीं है? हाँ? नहीं है. इसका मतलब critically damped systems जो है सिर्फ पेपर पे होंगे. Practically possible नहीं है. Zeta exactly equal to 1 condition जो है, it is practically not possible. You will always have a value of zeta slightly greater than 1 or slightly less than 1. This is possible, but 100% zeta exactly equal to 1 condition is practically not possible. अब बचा क्या? Case 2 and case 4. दोनों में ऑप्टिमम एंड बेस्ट क्या दिख रहा? हाँ? केस 2 में केस 4 में ऑप्टिमम एंड बेस्ट क्या दिख रहा? केस 2. That is why most of the control systems, higher order systems, are designed for values of zeta less than 1. You understand? are designed for zeta less than 1 because the response can be analyzed using more number of performance specifications. Understand? That is why you see PMMC instruments, when you give some input, pointer will oscillate and then it will stop. Oscillate and stop is an indication of underdamped response. You understand? Now, how can you justify this underdamped response for robotic systems? Because all robotic systems are second order or higher order only. Suppose, if you want to design a robo, and the function of that robo is to get you a mug of coffee every day in the morning, it is the job. For that you have designed the robo. And every robotic system comes under second order or higher order only. And we are saying that underdamped response is better. What is underdamped response? The response is reaching the steady state value of the input. After reaching, it is oscillating for some time and then it is stopping. So suppose if you design a robo whose job is to pick up the coffee mug in the morning and it should come to you and give you are the steady state. And if you say it is underdamped, is good response, so it will pick up that mug of coffee in the morning, it will come to you. Boom, after coming to you, what it will do? It will oscillate and then it will be. How can you justify this underdamped response for such systems? So the justification is, since zeta equal to 1 is practically not possible, you must choose values of zeta in such a way that these oscillations are very minimum. Or you choose a value of zeta in such a way that the response is not very slow. A value which is slightly less than 1 or a value which is slightly greater than 1. You understand? That's how you have to adjust the damping ratio values. And that's how you have to design a system. That is why we say, for a majority of control systems, the optimum values of zeta are between 0.3 to 0.7. The optimum values of zeta are between 0.3 to 0.7. Right? Optimum values of damping ratio in control system design. The optimum values of damping ratio in control system design are between 0.3 to 0.7. 0.3 to 0.7. Another thing is, this diagram if you see, when zeta is 0, the roots are on j omega axis. As you are increasing the damping ratio value, one root is coming along this path, another root is coming along this path. Both these roots are meeting at minus omega. As you further increase zeta, one root is going towards origin, another root is going towards minus infinity. This path we call it as root locus path. Root locus obtained by varying the damping ratio values. It is a semicircular path with a radius of omega n. You see the distance, this point is minus omega n, means this distance will become omega n. If you take negative values of damping, this will become a circular path. That means roots will be traveling in right side. If the roots are traveling in right side for negative zeta values, response will not be bounded in right side of exponent. That is why negative zeta we should not consider. Zeta is always positive. That is why zeta square minus 1 equal to 0 implies zeta is plus or minus 1 here. Negative values we don't take. We should always take positive values. This way we show positive values only. Right. Second point. Second point. The root locus of a second order system of a second order system obtained by varying the damping ratio zeta is a semicircular path with radius of omega n. And a breakaway point at minus omega n on the negative real axis. Breakaway point at minus